Coming up on Global Business, the annual Shanghai Auto Show wraps up today. China has reaffirmed its support for the auto industry with a series of business-friendly measures. We'll take a closer look. As the Labor Day holiday approaches, the film industry in China is gearing up for a record-breaking season. Inflation, tech downturn and a banking crisis have led to massive layoffs around the world as businesses look for ways to cut costs. Hello, welcome to this edition of Global Business. I'm Zhu Jifeng in Beijing. The annual Shanghai Auto Show, which is drawing to an end, successfully showcased China's progress in the auto industry with a focus on automation, intelligence and electric vehicles. Out of the 1,400 cars showcased, the number of new models of electric vehicles surpassed that of diesel cars for the first time, demonstrating the industry's focus on sustainable transportation. One-third of all world debuts were from global brands, indicating the importance of China's market. Chinese car makers are also making strides in the global market, dominating in battery production and auto parts trade. According to the International Energy Agency, China's share of global electric car exports reached 35% in 2022. China has ramped up support for the auto industry with a series of business-friendly measures. The State Council recently released guidelines aimed at helping enterprises reach and sign long-term contracts directly with shipping companies. The guidelines also include measures to channel talent to auto industries. The Ministry of Commerce also pledged to further support the industry by optimizing market services and simplifying processes for enterprise going out and foreign companies coming to China. Now, for more insights on the Chinese auto industry and its development, we're joined by Liu Zhiqing, Senior Fellow of the Chongyang Institute for Financial Studies at Renmin University of China. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Liu. What major advances in the auto industry were showcased at the Shanghai Auto Show this year, in your opinion?
I think the showcase at the automobile exhibition in Shanghai is regarded as an auto festival because the festival atmosphere is full of every day. So I know some participants from European countries, European automobile, especially from the Germany and other countries, major countries. They are so happy and excited to see what's happening in the auto show. I think the main trend or the main word or keyword should be as innovation. Or in Chinese, it's new. We have a new design, we have a new car, we have a new standard of the production line. So everything is new. Because of this pandemic outbreak in past 3 years, the first auto showcase is so important and attractive for the people there. So now people take the cars no more as simply or as a transportation tool. They take it as a piece of art. They appreciate and enjoy that the new auto they could buy or they could have it, because this is a very important part of the people's life here in China. So this product, a new car, is no more abstracted as before. That this is very concrete. The product, a new car or with a new technology, with the new skills and a new quality. So everything that could enthusiasm all these buyers and the potential customers that to take part in the market. So that's why this auto show is a booster and a new engine that can stimulate and promote the auto industry in China in the time to come.
As China's Ministry of Commerce pushes for increased car exports, what is the current competitiveness of China's auto cars, especially electric cars, in overseas markets?
I think, as you just mentioned, that two measures have been taken. It's quite important. First, to simplify this processing and also try to modify all this market access for the car export, especially they have a long-term rent for cargo. So this can also save the cost of these exporters. As we know that the Chinese car manufacturer are now different as traditional one because they design the car, produce the car not only according to their own or in the computer design. They need to, or they know that how to meet the demands of the local people, how to meet the culture character in the local countries. So in this way, this good combination, I met some people from Latin America, even from Africa. They said that if they bought some Chinese cars, they look like something very different from they bought from other areas because all these car products from culture itself represents the localization. So it's very important, I think, the Chinese cars will not only become a normal, simplified transportation tool. It's really a combination of different cultures. This is a very important competitiveness for Chinese cars. Not only low price, not only high quality, but also they are very closely to the people's needs and what they want.
Thank you so much for your insights. That's Mr. Liu Zhiqing for us. Some of the capabilities of Chinese tech giants in terms of innovation was on display at the Shanghai Auto Show. Our reporter Zhang Shixuan learned out how Chinese tech giants and car makers have been giving the evolution of global automobile industry.
An increasing number of NEVs now feature large screens like this one, where you can find the majority of the car's functions with no other control buttons on the dashboard or the steering column. While the touchscreen may not be the best choice for drivers, the new voice-activated system allows a driver to access to a variety of functions from music to navigation to phone calls and even opening the window. If you can say it, the car would do it.
We started upgrading the whole system at the beginning of last year. Previously, most instructions were installed on the car, so if the driver wanted to upgrade the system, it wouldn't be very convenient. Now, the whole upgrade can be pushed through our cloud.
During the past 5 years, Tencent has been placing a strong emphasis on tech innovation for smart transportation, with a combined investment of more than 200 billion yuan. It has applied for more than 60,000 global patents. The investments appear to have a smart move, as just one of their AI voice assistant products has been introduced to more than 100 car models. At the auto show, you can see how the evolving tech development has really been driving the evolution in the automobile industry. Last year, I already tried this smart system developed by Chinese tech giant SenseTime to assist drivers with non-driving tasks. Almost 30 vehicle models produced in cooperation with the tech firm were on display at the auto show in Shanghai. Due to the increasing tech demand from car makers, last year alone the company gained new orders for another 80 car models from 30 car makers.
A car is a very complicated system, which is hard for a single company to develop. So we need strong partners. SenseTime has been digging deep into the cabin area, which is a good supplement for us. We should avoid doing repetitive work, so we chose to work with this supplier.
Now all of NIO's models in China are using SenseTime products. In fact, many tech-oriented EV makers are looking for more, providing a huge opportunity for innovators. This is precisely what was stressed by the Chinese president last Friday. President Xi pointed out that innovation in terms of science and technology, industries, and institutions and mechanisms should be promoted in a coordinated way, so as to promote the establishment of an innovation system, with enterprises playing a principal role. Private companies are encouraged to participate in major national innovation projects. Zhang Shixuan, ICS for CGTN, Shanghai.
The eastern province of Jiangsu has over 40,000 foreign enterprises. The province has ranked first in the country for years in terms of the foreign investment in actual use. On Thursday, the European Union Chamber of Commerce in China released its Nanjing Position Paper. The paper represents the opinions of over 120 EU companies, mostly in Jiangsu province. They recognize the province as a major investment destination, but says it would improve in internationalization, green energy adoption, and environmental health and safety regulations. As the Labor Day holiday approaches, the film industry in China is gearing up for a record-breaking season, with 17 new films set to release in the coming week. According to data from Lighthouse Platform, as of today, the box office for a Labor Day holiday film has exceeded 170 million yuan. This is a promising start to the season, and more than 70% of film-related stocks have already surged since March, according to Wind statistics. As technology advances, artificial intelligence is transforming film production, with some AI systems now capable of performing a range of tasks traditionally done by humans, including storyboarding and editing. In Junyi explores the impact of these AI technologies on the film industry.
As technology grows increasingly complex, artificial intelligence is growing right alongside it, especially in the ability to mimic human behavior. With just a few words entered into a prompt, some AI programs can now create human-like digital art. For students in this film school in Shanghai, that's a big help in creating concept art.
我目前的创作的一部短片是涉及到超现实题材的，然后
I'm now working on a surreal short film, and it's hard to find related visual materials. These programs can create pictures for me to visualize the concept in my mind.
包括一些分镜啊、美术啊。
AI can help us make storyboards, as well as art and design. Besides creating images, we use AI programs like Notion to make our idea clear and specific. Then we type the words it produces into programs like Midjourney, and the pictures the AI creates will be much better.
The most recent advances in AI and the wide use of the tech in the film industry have pushed the school to train students in these areas.
Visualizing has been a part of filmmaking forever. So you had to contract a lot of illustrators. It cost a lot of money to have them draw what you had in your mind, what you imagined. Nowadays, with AI, you're able to do it on your own without spending the money. The market is actually showing that a lot of people is using it in the business. So we want our students to have an edge, when they go out into the market.
In addition to using AI to come up with graphics, the school teaches students how to apply AI tech to tasks like automating character movements and creating smooth video edits. And the lecturers there say continuous advancements in AI are expected to make it more widely used in the industry.
让我们非常惊讶的就是它这个 AI 的迭代速度实在是
The iteration speed of AI technology really surprises us. Half a year ago we just opened our AI courses. Now everyone in our industry needs to know how to use AI. Previously, we thought AI was mostly applicable to some technical aspects of 3D animation and visual effects. But we have learned it can greatly assist with the pre-production process. All this happened within just 2 months.
而且这全都是在1-2个月之内发生的。
She says, however, that he does not believe AI will completely take over the industry, adding a person still makes final decision and AI tech is just a tool to improve efficiency. He adds it will be increasingly important for people to learn how to utilize AI to produce high-quality films. 殷俊一 ICS 富 CGTN 上海。
You're watching Global Business. Come up next. Inflation, tech downturn, and a banking crisis have led to massive layoffs around the world as businesses look for ways to cut costs.
The world economy as we know it is about to change. Global business reports highlight emerging markets, developing countries, and dynamic sectors worldwide. We feature top analysts and newsmakers to provide perspectives on every facet of business. From an on-the-ground perspective, we provide you with balanced and objective assessments. Fast, sharp, and insightful. Global Business. Only on CGTN.
Welcome back. Inflation, a tech downturn, and a banking crisis have resulted in a turbulent start to the year for the U.S. economy. That's led to massive layoffs around the world as businesses look for ways to cut costs. Mark New has the details.
So far this year, tech companies have laid off roughly 170,000 people around the world.
So the layoffs were tied, one, to the overstaffing, and two, to the impact of inflation and higher prices, which is causing less demand for PCs and consumer devices and even telecom devices.
Amazon recently announced it will be laying off 9,000 employees, while Meta will cut 10,000. During their first wave of cuts, Meta did not extend the contract of IT technician Daniel Gonzalez. Now he's a contract worker at First Republic Bank, an institution also under financial pressure.
It's following me, unfortunately, but like I said, try to do my best, just hope for the best, but plan for the worst.
Small and mid-sized banks like First Republic are fighting for survival in the wake of the collapse in March of Silicon Valley Bank, a bank well known for having venture capitalists and startups as investors. As the value of the bank's investments drastically decreased and customers began withdrawing large amounts, the federal government stepped in as a backstop. And within the month, First Citizens Bank agreed to buy the troubled operation.
What happened here with Silicon Valley Bank showed a crack in the banking system in the U.S. And that really has changed the dynamics of the smaller banks and whether they can potentially even survive. And two, how the U.S. government has to look at this going forward.
Despite the turbulent economy, Lang Chen, a risk management consultant for one of the U.S.'s largest banks, isn't worried.
I don't think the big banks has big impact so far, but then for the smaller banks, I'm not sure because I don't bank with them. But I just hope everything would be all right, and then the bank can survive, so the whole economy can still keep going.
But U.S. bank Goldman Sachs recently cut more than 3,000 jobs, and in Europe, Credit Suisse collapsed in March, with rival UBS sweeping in to take over.
Just tell me your thoughts about the way the economy is going right now.
Well, down the pan. It's not great.
I was laid off in November. I was feeling burnout already.
Layoffs combined with remote work policies have impacted downtown areas. In San Francisco, this side of the walkway used to be filled with restaurants, but now there's just one left, Sushi Quinta.
Working in the day is like the 2 times a week. So maybe like the Tuesday, Wednesday, something. So that's why the business is a little bit tough. And like this one, up and down, up and down.
Despite all the layoffs, there are signs of hope. The latest U.S. jobs report shows the U.S. economy added 236,000 jobs in March, with the leisure and hospitality sectors showing the biggest gains. Mark New, CGTN, San Francisco.
Meanwhile, the latest GDP data has just come out in the U.S. just now. For more, let us cross to our reporter John Tarrant in New York. Yes. So, John, 1.1% GDP growth in the first quarter, a bit of an off forecast of 2%. Tell us more about it.
Hi, Jean-Ju Fang. You know, I do hope you're not hoping for a definitive answer to any of these questions, because I am not the man to give it to you at this time, and these figures are not the figures to help you understand anymore. It's very confusing, actually. Look, we've just had GDP. This is all the country's goods and services lumped into one basket and given a jolly good stir by the authorities. So it's private companies that are owned here, it's private companies that are owned by people overseas, it's government contracts, education, all of that. Stick it all in, and what comes out is the GDP figure or the growth figure. Now, we were told to expect 1.9%, and that was lowered in the last 24 hours after Boeing, the aerospace company, gave us their latest set of earnings. Now, the other thing I have to tell you is that the figure just published is only the first blush. Okay, it will be revised potentially 2 more times, possibly even 3. So this is just the first look for the growth in the country in the first quarter of 2023. Now, 1.9 we were told, 1.1 is what we got. Now, it's very important to understand this does not necessarily mean that the US economy is rushing headlong into a recession, although the R word is the big question that dominates everything. Now, let me try and give you an example. Personal consumption, okay, which is the favored measure of measuring inflation by the central bank here, was up 3.7% in the quarter and up 1% on the previous quarter. So people are still spending. On the other hand, business spending dropped sharply according to these figures. Now, the markets in New York, where I am at the moment, just around the corner from the stock exchange, were sharply in the green before this number came out of 1.1%, and they are sharply in the green right now. Now, we do have issues that could be affecting all of this. the regional banking crisis that Mark touched on in his brilliant package just now is centered on a bank called First Republic at the moment. It has very few options. Also, technology companies are laying off people left and right, as Mark said in his report. But they're also turning in stellar earnings. Just this week, Microsoft, Alphabet, and Meta doing very well. And here's the thing, the weekly jobless number has come out. This is the number of people signing up for first-time unemployment benefit at the state level as of last Saturday. With all these job losses that Mark was talking about, you'd expect it to go up, right? Well, it went down from 245,000 to 230,000. So the thing is that the Federal Reserve will meet to discuss interest rates next week. With these numbers, with a resurging housing market, with the strong corporate earnings, and with very strong hiring clearly still around, I think that there'll be a 25 basis point increase next week, but Wall Street is aware that we're coming to the end of this interest rate hiking cycle after getting on for 18 months. But as I say, it could all change in the blink of an eye. That's the world we live in at the moment, you know,
Yeah.
June 5.
Very difficult to predict anything, with so many forces playing at the same time. Thank you so much for your update. John Terrett for us from
Thank you very much.
Our headquarters in Washington. Now we move on to some other business headlines that we're tracking at this hour. The U.S. House of Representatives on Wednesday narrowly passed a bill to raise the country's $31 trillion debt limit, making deep spending cuts over the next decade. Throughout the debate over the bill, Republicans cast Democrats as profligate with taxpayers' money that he said had pushed the national debt into the danger zone. Argentina will pay for imports from China in yuan instead of US dollars in a bid to protect its dwindling foreign exchange reserves, Economy Minister Sergio Massa said on Wednesday. Now, New Zealand Prime Minister Chris Hipkins said on Thursday that the budget to be handed down next month would focus on cost of living support and cyclone recovery and investment in skills, technology and infrastructure to lay the foundation for future economic growth. Next, we take a closer look at the steady recovery of China's consumer market, as well as some of the popular and limited edition products that are driving the rebound in Beijing this spring. Our Olivia He has the details.
Take a picture of cherry blossoms, purchase spring limited food, and go for camping. As the temperature warms up, the spring economy is also gathering momentum. In many coffee shops, cherry blossom flavored coffee and cakes are put in the most eye-catching places, and the price of the spring limited products is slightly higher than the regular ones.
Of course, it's not just about drinks. In many chain coffee shops, coffee mugs and other products come with distinctive cherry blossom patterns too.
We launch limited edition products every spring. It's available from March till the mid of April. It's very popular and it gets sold out in most stores.
In addition to coffee and tea shops, special spring products are commonly seen in Beijing supermarkets as well.
I'm now at a Kuma Fresh supermarket, and the first thing that caught my attention here is the huge barbecue area right next to the entrance.
With demand for outdoor activities such as camping booming in spring, sales of related products such as utensils for barbecue, oven baking trays, and various sauces are literally flying off the shelves here and at other department stores across the city.
Another thing that caught my eye at the stores was several packages in green and pink with words such as Spring Limited or Take Me Out for Spring Camping.
今年呢也是以结合茶的元素做了很多的西点。
Our Spring Limited bakery has different types of tea flavors, such as jasmine and Longjing tea. In Chinese culture, we drink green tea in spring, so the cakes are all made into different green tea flavors as spring special products.
Besides food, all kinds of daily necessities, such as shower gel, laundry detergent, toothpaste, etc., also have spring special series, and they are always put together in many stores for customers to choose. Spring Limited products are not only available in offline stores, but are easily found online too. Searches on e-commerce platforms with the keyword Spring Limited brings up all kinds of special products such as beauty makeup, stationery, accessories, etc. Olivia He, CGTN, Beijing.
One of the main segments of the Beijing International Film Festival is the Project Pictures The segment helps young and upcoming directors with investment opportunities. Wang Suwen has more.
Song Ziyue has been working in the film industry for more than 5 years. She studied film in university, and her dreams of being a director have never changed. But it's not an easy path, especially for young people.
Often, the market and the industry don't have a high level of trust in new directors. And young directors' professional skills only stay in theory. And using new directors will increase the risk of producer.
She said more opportunities are what young directors need the most.
It doesn't need to be a high investment production, but even a short film or drama is a good option for young directors to gain experience and show their talent, realize their value.
Talent and good content have been the focus of this year's Beijing International Film Festival. More supporting measures have been put in place to help those wanting to break into the film industry, such as young directors and those with the potential to stand out. The Project Peaches segment is helping to discover filmmakers with potential, providing a platform for investment, production, marketing, and so on.
The future of film must be these young professionals. I hope they can have more opportunities, whether from these film and television companies, directors, screenwriters, and so on, so that they can show their talent on stage. What new stories can be born from the perspective of these young people?
Judges say only good stories matter. Winning projects will be selected and eventually turned into films. Wang Suwen, CGTN, Beijing.
Good luck to those young, talented directors. That will do for this edition of Global Business here on CGTN. Thanks for watching. I'm Jim in Beijing. CGTN continues with more news and views. Stay with us.
This is CGTN, China Global Television Network.